Hey, welcome back to Trinity K9z. And today we're going to do something interesting and that's been requested by a number of you. We are going to go through the Canine Good Citizenship test step by step. I'm going to break down every one of the steps of the AKC CGC test, and we're going to meet a dog going through this process. Now, I like the AKC CGC test because it provides you a real clear and concise understanding of if you've got a dog that's well behaved. I think all of us want to say, yeah, my dog's good. Well, how do you demonstrate that? The AKC CGC gives us 10 concrete steps that we can walk our dog through to demonstrate before a certified evaluator that our dog is a well-behaved companion that is not a nuisance to the world. So join us as we get started today with our AKC Canine Good Citizenship test. Welcome to Trinity K9z. Before we get started, let me just introduce you to the folks that you're going to watch. This is Patty, the handler, and Luna, the dog. Patty has had Luna for just 5 weeks at the time of this test. Luna was a rescue dog. In fact, she was being fostered by someone who could no longer take care of her. And Patty had always wanted a forever friend. She fell in love with Luna. But one of the things I think is a great representation of being a responsible owner is making sure that you're qualified, or your lifestyle fits, I should say, with the dog, and that the dog can fit into your lifestyle. You know, dogs are supposed to serve us, not the other way around. And so it's important to pick a dog that can live in the area that we live in, can handle the exercise and activity level that we want to handle, and that cannot be a nuisance to those around them. Now, when Patty adopted Luna on a trial, I was contacted to do an evaluation of the dog to see if it would be a good fit for the family. And Luna had some behavioral issues. In fact, the first 2 times I met Luna, she would not come and talk to me at all, wouldn't sit next to me, was quite timid. You're going to see what great work Patty has done and just the incredible transformation of this dog, Luna. So let's go through the AKC CGC test with Patty and Luna. All right, let's get started. This is test 1. Accepting a friendly stranger. And this test is to demonstrate that the dog will allow a friendly stranger to approach and to speak to the handler in a natural everyday situation. You're going to notice here that I'm going to give the dog and the handler the option to sit on either a pad or on a place board. That's going to be their choice. And then I'm going to approach the handler. I'm not going to approach the dog. This is not a test of how does the dog greet me. This is a test of how does the dog react when someone greets the handler. And then we'll start right over here. All right, so we'll start with me meeting you. Good morning. Good to see you. Now I'll step away. Test number 2, sitting politely for petting. This test demonstrates that the dog will allow a friendly stranger to touch it while it's out with its handler. You'll notice when I go to meet the dog, I say the words, I'm going to take my pressure off, and I turn my hips. Look for that. When we approach a dog with our hips directly at the dog, and a lot of times when we greet a dog, it's with our hands up, hi, how are you? That's very threatening to the dog. I want to give the dog every opportunity to have a good experience with me. So when I approach any new dog, I come at it with my hips slightly directed away from the dog so that it takes that pressure off. Now, with the dog sitting during this test, I'm going to begin the exercise. I'm going to pet the dog. I'm going to touch the body parts. I'm going to talk to the dog, and I'm going to make sure the dog is comfortable with me touching the paws, the tail, the teeth, the ears. Now this time I'm going to come in and I'm going to say hi. Can I meet your dog?
Yes.
Hi, Miss Luna. Taking my pressure off. Good morning. You're so beautiful. Look at you. Test number 3, appearance and grooming. This test demonstrates that the dog will welcome being groomed and examined and will permit someone such as a veterinarian, a groomer, or a friend of the owner to do it too. It also demonstrates that the owner's care, concern, and sense of responsibility. You'll notice with the previous test and with this one, I really do get kind of invasive. I'm going to touch the ears. I'm going to put my finger into the mouth and touch the teeth. I'm going to touch the paws, and I'm going to move around to the tail area to make sure the dog doesn't have a negative reaction. We want this test to go well because we want our dog to be able to be comfortable around veterinarians, groomers, and anyone else that might be necessary to touch the dog.
Big paws, tail, ears, and everything like that. Wonderful.
I like the moving. She like the moving. He like.
Test number 4, out for a walk, also known as walking on a loose lead. And this test demonstrates that the handler is in control of the dog when the dog is walking on a leash. Now, several parts of this test need to be demonstrated. One is that the dog consistently stays on the same side as the owner has placed them. Second, that the dog is able to turn right, left, and stop, make several turns, and stay under control. And then finally, to bring them back over and end the test.
And can you take her on a little walk down around that second mat and back?
Luna, let's go.
And when you come back, can you turn and go between those two benches and then take a pause? Great. And then you can stop anywhere you'd like and come right on back. And we'll come over here. Oh, very good.
Here.
Right over here to the mat.
Luna, place.
Great.
The dog days are over. The dog days.
In this next clip, you'll see a combination of test number 5, walking through a crowd, and this test demonstrates the dog can move about politely in pedestrian traffic and is under control when on a leash in public, and test number 8, reaction to another dog, the test that demonstrates that the dog can behave politely around other dogs. Given that on this day we had a limited number of participants, we did a combination of these two elements together. You'll notice that Luna passes in front of other humans and dogs, and then around an individual dog seated.
And could we have Murphy come back out in the middle, please? And you're going to walk out and around Murphy and then right back over here.
Luna, let's go.
And then right back over here. Thank you, Murphy.
Luna, place.
Test number 6, sit and down on cue and stay in place. This test demonstrates that the dog has training and will respond to the handler's cues to sit and down and will remain in place, either position, seated or in a down position, as the test commences. You'll notice here that we are going to have the dog clipped to a 20-foot long line for safety purposes. This is part of the test. This gives us the opportunity to correct the dog or catch the dog if the dog were to break. The dog is then asked to sit on command, which Luna does. The dog is then directed to lay down on command, which Luna does. And in this instance, the handler opted to have the dog remain in the down position during the test.
Let's clip the green line onto Luna's neck. And can you ask Luna to lay down on command? And it might be difficult just based on the size of that board. You might want to put her on the mat for this.
Luna, come. Place.
Wonderful. And then can you ask her to wait in that position or in seated position? Walk out between these two black mats and then come back. Really nice.
Test number 7, coming when called. This test obviously demonstrates that the dog will come when called by the handler. Now, prior to this, in step 6, you notice that we had the dog sit on command and then lay down on command. The owner then asked the dog to wait, left, went 20 feet away, came back, the dog was fine. Now we're asking the owner to leave again and then call the dog and demonstrate recall.
Ask her to wait again. Walk out to this first one and then call her to you.
Luna, come. Luna, come.
Very nice.
Test number 9, reaction to distraction. This test demonstrates that the dog is always confident when faced with common distractions and situations. In this instance, I'm going to have the dog go back to the beginning portion. The handler is going to take the dog on a walk, and as the dog passes me, I'm going to drop the lid of a heavy pan right behind the dog. And we want to see what the dog's reaction will be. We don't want the dog to bolt. It can give a common look back. It can have some curiosity about it, but it can't take off on a wild run. You'll see here Luna does great.
Great. You can unclip that green one. And you can take her back over to the mat and have her wait on the mat with you.
Luna, come.
Oh, good. And then we're going to have her take a walk with you, and you're going to walk right past me, just over that way.
Luna, let's go.
A little bit of a move, but not too much.
Say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Test number 10, supervised separation. Now this test demonstrates that a dog can be left with a trusted person, if necessary, and will maintain training and good manners. You'll hear some commentary when I go through this in the next segment, but the basic background of this situation is that on occasion you're going to have to give your dog to someone else. Something might happen that requires your full attention, and you need to be able to hand your dog off to a trusted person. Is the dog going to whine, complain, pull, bark, have a fit? Is the dog going to be overly concerned? All these things are what we're looking for. As the evaluator, I can make a few comments to the dog, but I can't get down on the dog's level and try to comfort the dog. I can't give the dog any rewards, any treats, anything like that. And we've asked the owner in this situation to actually not only get out of eyeshot, but go into the building and be behind glass so that the dog has no ability to see or smell her.
Is it okay if I take your dog?
Yes.
And then you can go right inside, and we'll be waiting out here. Hi, Luna. Come on over here. Can you sit? Very nice. Now, what's interesting about this is the first 2 times I met Luna, Luna wanted nothing to do with me. Luna barked at me, ran away from me, hid in the house. I even got down on the ground with a handful of treats and laid there and waited for Luna just to have some interaction. Absolutely nothing. I really want to commend Patty on this work. This has been 4.5 weeks of a labor of love and has really turned around this dog's life and given this dog a forever home. This was a dog that bounced around from house to house. Needless to say, she's done a great job. Yes, you're going to be a good forever dog, Pump. Yes. And we said we'd have some other distractions today. So we've got an ambulance, we've got employees, we've got cars pulling up, all kinds of things happening at the same time. You're doing great. Okay. Congratulations. Well done.
So there you have it, the 10 steps of the American Kennel Club Canine Good Citizenship Test. We're really honored to be a part of the AKC, and I'm very proud to be an evaluator of the AKC. I think that many times in life we get demonstrated whether we're winning or losing. If it's at work, you get demonstrated with pay. If it's at home, maybe you get a good meal. With our dog, it's hard to demonstrate if we're winning or losing in the training of our dog. And I think the AKC CGC does a great service to everyone that takes this class and takes this test to demonstrate that their dog will be a productive and reliable member of society. So we're thrilled with all the participants. We're thrilled with what we got to do with them. And if you have some interest in this, drop a comment into the chat and let us respond to you. We'd be happy to tell you more about it. We do this in Southern California. We do it every couple of weeks, and we'd be happy to have you join us. Until we meet again, I hope you had a great video with us and enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time at Trinity K9z.